But perhaps the biggest reason why donors should support Chabad is the extraordinary multiplier effect of shlichus, or what business people call leverage. Allow me to illustrate this with two stories. Stories of your fellow shluchim where the work of one or a few of you changed the world. I note that there are so many stories like this to share. My difficulty wasn't finding examples, it was limiting myself to just these two. First story. Miri arrives at the University of Virginia in 2004. Her first week there, she wanders around the student activities fair during freshman orientation and signs up to receive information from a range of campus organizations that seem vaguely interesting. Miri comes across the Chabad booth, and having had a weak and uninspiring Jewish upbringing, she sort of ambivalently decides to write down her name and email address on the Chabad list. In the weeks and months that follows, she receives dozens of friendly emails from the Chabad shliach on that campus, Rabbi Shlomo Meir. Inviting her and her friends to come to this or that event at Chabad at UVA. But Miri is busy academically and socially and deletes each of those emails. One day, Rabbi Meir decides he is going to call every single student on that list who has not responded, including Miri. Rabbi Meir is obviously a colossal nudge. At last, the two speak, and being polite, Miri agrees to come to Chabad. As she tells the story, it's the first time in her life that she meets an observant Jewish family. And she's shocked. Though tentative at first, intrigued by what she has encountered, she keeps coming back, curious to learn more. Eventually, this leads her to take some time to study at the Chabad Mayanot women's program in Jerusalem. Where through Mayanot, she meets a wonderful young man, and the two marry. Today, Miri and Rabbi David Burke work side by side with Rabbi Eli and Rebbetzin Chana Silberstein in their shlichus at Cornell University. For 10 years now, they've been spectacularly successful teaching and celebrating Yiddishkeit with Jewish students at Cornell. You can draw a straight line from the loving persistence of one shaliach tracking down one 18-year-old student to invite her to experience the beauty and power of her heritage, to her and her husband selflessly dedicating their lives to doing the same at a university with 4,000 Jewish undergraduate and graduate students. To the countless students who, as a direct result of their experiences at that Chabad house, have become Jewishly committed leaders impacting their own worlds for the good. And growing anti-Semitism on college campuses is not an obstacle to these shluchim, not to them, nor to Chabad couples like them across colleges and universities. It only emboldens them to work even harder every single day to build Jewish literacy, grow Jewish pride, and indeed to awaken every Jewish neshama among the students and faculty in all those places, so that ultimately, V'ra'u kol amei ha'aretz ki shem Hashem nikra alecha, for all the world to see that we stand proud as Jews. That, too, is leverage. I should note that Chassidus teaches us that each individual mitzvah, like each individual Jew, is infinitely precious, even without leverage. Let's be clear that had Miri only learned to appreciate the warmth of Shabbat, or only taken on the mitzvah of lighting Shabbat candles, that would more than have justified Rabbi Meir's efforts. Had Miri and her husband not gone on shlichus, it would still all have been worth it. But as we know, one mitzvah leads to another and then another. And no Jewish movement has been able to nurture that multiplier effect more effectively than Chabad.